Beware, tourist fraud is rampant in Nusa Penida. Perpetrators are travel agents. Here are tips to avoid being a victim. Wow, is it really that rampant? And hashtag KaburAjaDulu is crowded. Japanese ambassador hopes many Indonesian citizens will go to Japan. What will they do at Japan? Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. This is February 24th, 2025, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today in the Kampung? Well, pretty nice. Yesterday it rained and rained and rained and rained. We were out looking at my son's house here in, well, over to the west of us. And unfortunately, it was wet. I wanted to walk around the neighborhood. I haven't been there in, well, quite a while. And so, wasn't a good day, but today looks pretty good. It is right now at 8:30 in the morning. It is 28 degrees Celsius. Pretty cool for this time of the day. And the humidity, 82%. And the wind speed is 6.4 kilometers per hour. And sunny, and well, let's hope that it's going to be a good day today, and I hope it's a good day wherever you are, whether it's here in Bali or somewhere else. And so let's get into the first story here about tourist fraud in Nusa Penida. Nusa Penida has been in the news a couple of times today. One, because some drivers were fighting, duking it out, and well, it upset locals and tourists. And then this, the tourist fraud thing. And so what is this? Beware, tourist fraud is rampant in Nusa Penida. Perpetrators are travel agents. Here are some tips to avoid being a victim. Tourists who want to vacation in Nusa Penida must now be more vigilant. Fraud under the guise of cheap travel agents is becoming increasingly rampant, with many victims experiencing losses after being tempted by offers of prices far below market price. Fraudsters usually offer tour packages at super cheap prices via social media. After the victim makes the payment via transfer, the agent suddenly becomes difficult to contact. There is a lot of that goes on here online. The promise of the trip was never realized, causing tourists to experience financial losses. This phenomenon continues to increase, especially on digital platforms where perpetrators can easily spread tempting promotions. Unfortunately, once the funds were transferred, communication was immediately cut off without a trace. In order not to become a victim, tourists who plan to go to Nusa Penida are advised to do research first. Check reviews and testimonials from previous customers. Make sure the agent has official contacts such as a clear office address and active telephone number. Don't be easily tempted by prices that are too cheap because it could be a sign of fraudulent practices. Avoid paying in full up front. It is better to pay a portion as a down payment and pay the rest after the service is received. This case was also widely discussed in social media. Many netizens reminded the importance of using the services of an official agent or trusted local guide to avoid the risk of fraud. To ensure your holiday, Nusa Penida remains safe and comfortable, choose a trusted agent. Don't be easily tempted by unreasonably low prices because it could be a scam. And these tips all seem pretty obvious, but it is amazing the number of people that don't do this and then put on social media about how they've been scammed, not just in Nusa Penida, but in a lot of different things, going on tours, renting villas, buying things, building houses, buying land. It's just never ending. If you want to protect your money and have a good vacation while you're here, make sure that the person that you are dealing with is legitimate as much as you can online. And one of the things is to check their references. Be careful if you are doing things online. Okay, and the other day I talked about the hashtag KaburAjaDulu, and well, there is a follow-up now from the Japanese ambassador. KaburAjaDulu is crowded. Japanese ambassador hopes many Indonesian citizens will go to Japan. Japanese ambassador to Indonesia, Masaki Yasushi, hopes that more students and workers from Indonesia will settle in Japan. This hope was conveyed during the hashtag KaburAjaDulu trend on social media. Masaki said Indonesian students can continue their to study programs in his country even though their Japanese is not very fluent because many universities there have started using English as the language of instruction. Then, according to Masaki, Japan is also happy to accept skilled workers from various countries, especially Indonesia. He even praised the Indonesian workers who work hard in the fields of medical services, manufacturing, agriculture, fisheries, and services. They are highly valued by the Japanese people, so my mission is to increase the number of such people, he said. In addition to the fields mentioned above, Indonesian citizens can also work in any sector, including transportation, although foreign workers are still required to understand Japanese, although not necessarily fluently. In any field, I think Indonesians are accepted. And I heard there's a bus driver from Indonesia, the first in Japan, he said. He stressed that Japanese society also understands and respects Islamic culture. Therefore, Japanese people can accept more skilled workers from Indonesia. And so if you want to work in Japan or study in Japan, this might be worthwhile looking into. But Japanese is not an easy language to learn, and you do have to have some level of fluency. So, interesting. And here's something not related to Bali specifically, Indonesia, and fascinating. I just happened to come across the video in question here last night, and well, if you like Indonesian punk rock, it was pretty catchy. And it's caused a huge amount of commotion. 6 facts about the Sukatani band and the song Bayar, Bayar, Bayar. The punk rock band from Buleleng, Central Java, is in the spotlight following the controversy over the song Bayar, Bayar, Bayar. 2 of its personnel uploaded a video apologizing to the National Police Institution on Sukatani's social media account, which caused a public outcry. The reason is, in the apology video, both personnel show their true selves, their faces, which have always been hidden in their videos. The apology was addressed to the police and the withdrawal of the song, Bayar, 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 which made the public suspect that there was an attempted intimidation of the band. The song Bayar, Bayar, Bayar contains lyrics about having to pay the police for all sorts of things. And it gets the crowd really involved in it too. They've removed this from online, but you may be able to find it. I found it on Instagram last night. Well, it just kind of fed in. I didn't even look for it. I didn't know about it. But it's catchy. The Central Java Regional Police admitted that they provided clarification to Sukatani regarding the song. And the police said that they appreciate the activity of expressing and giving opinions through art, according to the head of public relations. He emphasized that the police are not anti-criticism and appreciate such criticism. Here are the latest facts about the polemic between the Sukatani band and the song Bayar, Bayar, Bayar. Members of the Central Java Police were questioned by Propam Polri, the Indonesian National Police's Professional Security Division, and they questioned 4 members of Central Java Regional Police about the intimidation of the band, the alleged intimidation of the band. To ensure professionalism in this, and according to the results of their investigation, the police acted professionally. Sukatani said that they're in a safe place and that the band made an upload to Instagram on Saturday, thanking everybody for their support and prayers. And continuing on with this story, Buleleng region offers vocalist who was allegedly fired to become a teacher again. So the female vocalist was a teacher, but she was fired, and she's been offered the opportunity to become a teacher again. And this is the vocalist Novi Chitra, who's known as Twister Angel. So I don't know if she's going to accept her job back as a teacher, but she's been offered apparently. And the Minister of Human Rights has checked on this alleged dismissal to see if there's any truth regarding the dismissal being in relation to her song, Bayar, Bayar, Bayar. And if it turns out to be the case that she was fired for that reason, she said that she would reject the dismissal in order to protect the human rights of Novi. And the band was back yesterday playing at an event along with other punk rock bands in Java and Tagal. Everything seems to be okay with them. And another story which just came out about the band. For institutional improvement, Chief of Police invites Sukatani banned to become police ambassadors. National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo invited the Sukatani music group to become Polri ambassadors in an effort to build constructive criticism of the police institution. This was conveyed by the Chief of Police as part of the police's commitment to conducting continuous evaluation and improvement. Later, if the Sukatani band agrees, we will make them judges or Polri ambassadors to continue to build criticism for the sake of correction and improvement of the institution, as well as the concept of continuous evaluation of the behavior of Polri personnel who may still be deviant. He emphasized that the police are not anti-criticism and actually appreciate various inputs from the public as a form of love for the police institution. In line with what the chief of police said, the head of public information emphasized that the National Police continue to move towards becoming a modern organization that is open to criticism. He revealed the National Police has provided various forms to convey criticism, which is through art such as stand-up comedy. I would have loved to see that. He said, we once held a stand-up comedy so the communities could convey their criticism of the police through their own expression. Wow, that would be priceless to see. So Sukatani has been offered work as ambassadors for the police. That's pretty interesting. And Sukatani said that they had created this song, Bayar, 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 to criticize individuals who violate the rules, not the police as a whole. Good point there. Over the years that I've been here, I've had some unfortunate dealings with the police and some really, really good dealings with the police. Very helpful at times. So I can't fault the whole institution. Like with everything else, there's some good ones and some bad ones. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. And if you get a chance and you're interested in Indonesian punk rock, you might want to listen to this song. It's pretty interesting. And let's wrap it up with some weather. Peak of rainy season, Buleleng BPBD instructs residents to prepare emergency bags. The Buleleng Regional Disaster Management Agency, BPBD, has appealed to residents living in disaster-prone areas in Buleleng to prepare emergency bags. Although the intensity of the rain has begun to decrease, the peak of the rainy season is predicted to still occur throughout the month of February. We urge residents to secure valuables such as valuable documents, population administration, medicines for people with special diseases. Take all the important items, put them in one bag so that when the threat of disaster comes, you can immediately evacuate yourself to a safe place, said the head of BPBD. The official said that according to the prediction of the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency, BMKG, the peak of the rainy season is occurring right now in January to February. In the past week, rainfall in the Buleleng area has indeed subsided, but BPBD continues to urge the public to remain vigilant. People living in disaster-prone areas on hillsides, prone to landslides, fallen trees, or on the coast with potentials for tidal waves are advised to prepare emergency bags. According to Ariadi, disaster preparedness that is a priority is for the safety of lives. Then the second is followed by saving property, if still possible. Facing the rainy season this year, BPBD Buleleng has also taken preventive measures together with cross sectors such as National Road Implementation Center, the Environmental Service, Public Works and Spatial Planning Service, and the Housing Settlement Areas and Land Service, as well as the Indonesian Red Cross. Anticipatory measures that have been attempted, such as pruning disaster risk trees, cleaning drainage, river normalization, these are all part of the routine agenda in addition to socialization to villages and schools prone to disasters. And as I said the other day, let's hope that this is over, the extreme weather, but as soon as I say that, it starts raining. So I know I just said something today, and I hope it does not rain. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time.